I'm Frank Lee, and this is an odd adventure. This memory was jogged loose when Lasso of Truth brought this 9-pound goldfish to my attention. From the northern inlets outside Inverness to the southern banks near Fort Augustus, Loch Ness is a 22-square-mile, 889-foot deep monster hiding pool of terror. The Loch Ness Monster has had a documented presence since the year 565. There have been many theories as to what the Loch Ness Monster, or Nessie, actually is. From a dinosaur, to eels, to schools of fish, a sturgeon, trees, birds, mountain reflections, and even seismic activity. Hell, I even heard someone suspected it was a damn elephant swimming in the loch. After hearing a lot of shit ideas, I knew I had to investigate. So, I got on my plane and made for the land of whiskey and sheep. I flew directly into Inverness and started searching. To stretch my legs after the flight, I took a brisk 45-minute walk to get food in Cullen Moray. After stuffing myself with a trough of Cullen skink and 25 bottles of Urn Brew, I headed to a local mom-and-pop fishing store in Inverness. I asked the clerks, "What do you know about the Loch Ness Monster?" The manager told me never to yell in his shop again, or he would clobber me with his cudgel. I politely informed him that I would not be yelling in his shop again, and that I was very sorry. After sharing a bucket of fine Scottish beer, he told me that the best place to search for the Loch Ness Monster is a deep pool off the western banks of the loch. He provided me with this hand-drawn map and sent me on my way. I headed to Drumnadotchit, the home of Nessie Land. I asked the locals, "What do you know about the Loch Ness Monster?" They told me that Nessie had been seen the day before my arrival, just offshore. This made me very excited. They asked my intentions, and I politely informed them I intended to find, kill, and consume the Loch Ness Monster to absorb its unfathomable life energy. After a sudden exchange of unprovoked insults and skillful ninja-like dodging on my part, I went to the loch. I unpacked my diving gear at my family's old property, Urquhart Castle, and submerged myself in the investigation. Because Loch Ness's average water temperature is only 41 degrees on a warm Scottish day, I decided to employ the latest innovation in Scottish cold water diving gear. When entering water this murky, in search of a monster, most men would pee themselves. But Frank Lee was filled with the thrill of the hunt. The first 2 consecutive days I was submerged, I saw nothing. I stomped around the underwater area searching for signs of Nessie, but nothing. On the cusp of returning to the surface on the 3rd day, things got odd. I stood on the edge of the abyssal drop-off. So I did what any sane person would do. I jumped in. As I slowly sank into the darkness, I knew I wasn't alone. I pulled out my trusty Polaroid camera and took these pictures. Immediately afterwards, trouble happened. I swam downward, camera in one hand and pocket knife in the other. As I neared the beast, the tension welled. He passed within striking distance, and I swung my blade. I glanced the beast with the tip of my trusty pocket knife, which turned out to be a Frank Lee bad idea. The beast swung around in the water, filled with fury and a murderous intent. The beast struck me and sank its terrifying teeth into my abdomen. Here's the scars to prove it! While the beast had me in its dainty jaw, I wondered, what should I have for dinner? Because this was nothing more than a minor inconvenience. I struck the beast in the face with my pocket knife and Polaroid camera. The flash from the Polaroid blinded the beast, releasing me from its grip. The picture taken at that moment was lost forever, but my memory of it will live on for ages. I shot to the surface and leapt onto the lake shore, filled with giddy excitement. The same energy I feel when I smash my head on a low-hanging shelf. After packing my wounds with mud from the base of my family castle, I sat pondering the meaning of life while enjoying another case of Urn Brew. I woke from a deep slumber at daybreak and decided to pack it in. I made my way back to Inverness during my morning jog and fired up my plane. After returning home, I put this case deep into my files and deep into my memory banks. Someday, I might order a rematch, but we'll see. I'm Frank Lee, and this has been an odd adventure. Have a wonderful day. If you have an article that you think I should cover, then please send it to frankleeodd@gmail.com.